So, I can't tell you what to do. You're all grown men and women. You do whatever you want. Nancy, to you guys, after this 17 minutes-ish is over, whatever it is, I think it's going to be very hard to hear unless I don't see that there's going to be speakers. I think there might be bullhorns. I don't know how you guys are going to talk to each other, whoever's leading this. But when you start seeing people come back in, I would come back in, and I would be where I needed to be. That's just my advice. You might see people do things, you might not. Maybe everybody's going to take this and be as respectful as we hope they all are going to be. That's up to you guys. Okay. Any questions? Some people are already going to be gone. Some people are going to be waiting for their buses for work. Be where you need to be. Don't be all over the place. Explain yourself to an adult, because adults might be a little stressed. Be saying, get to fourth period, go to fourth period. It might be very quiet in, like almost like a funeral service, and quiet out. I don't know. So we need to be where you need to be. Now, I've been told it's very close to the time the buses are leaving. However, Mrs. Godin came in and I addressed this concern with her, and she said, nope, you have plenty of time to get back to Mrs. Rosenfeld where you belong, and then be recalled down for the buses. So, to me, Mrs. Godin addressed that this morning at first period. She just happened to walk in. Do you go to work today? What time do you go? At the end of 4th? So you're not even going to be around here, correct? Okay. I don't know if you go, I don't know, some people have buses coming at certain times, and see, little word for the wise and old age. Bye. Alright, so now let's go back to this.
Take it easy.
So you're reading about the flying car, and then they were talking about problems that could happen with the car, remember all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so we are only going to be answer the ones that have like a written response. And if I see here you didn't do that already.
Right? See how we did that?
Maybe you did.
Yeah.
So maybe you already, do you remember answering them on paper? No?
Get behind you.
So this is going to be
Make
for
sure you use a
reading.
pencil, because there will be erasing. And I don't want to
Looks like
scratch
you
out.
answered one, but incorrectly.
You heard
Two,
me.
look, this one looks
That's
like
sold. Okay, honey? Got you? I'm good. Well, you know what? I don't know if I have a quote for you yet, sweetheart. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Is it difficult to make a flying car that can be used safely? What evidence from the text supports this conclusion? So it says it's going to highlight. This is our first question.
David.
No. It's something
So,
else.
I'm going to explain to you what
It's
this
not
means.
about
Right here,
that.
the question again.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it difficult to make a flying car that can be used safely? Didn't they talk a lot about that in the story? Give me some ideas in the story of what they were talking. They were talking about the runway not being safe. I don't know, they were talking about could people land safely? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I read the story. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to go back in the story,
Travel training.
and I want you to find the place where it talks about making a flying car that could be safe. And they're saying
Good
it is
times.
difficult to make a flying car that can be used safely. So you're looking for that part of the story that talks about the problems with a flying car that make it unsafe. Problems with safety. Do you understand that? Okay. That's what your job is, and it's right here. The question is, so you gotta find it. So it's to find it.
Alvaro, you said you're working this afternoon?
Yeah. You still gotta do work, dude.
I heard from somebody that Miranda has pneumonia.
Yeah, I just talked to Megan. I didn't get too much into it with you because it's right here. But we'll talk a little bit more. I don't know much.
That was the last I heard.
Well, there's a part of the story that
Well,
I guess I can share with you when the kids leave.
Yeah.
I just literally heard that, so it's not like I knew.
Yeah.
She was here though yesterday. Her buddies, there's a parties I have to talk to.
Alright. Okay, now. What I
So you're
found,
looking
you get
for, in
frozen
your story reading,
and
about
you cut them into 6 slices.
the author talking about how to make a flying
So
car
put
that's
in,
safe.
I know they have frozen.
And there's problems with that.
And you get them in
Somebody
greens.
saying,
So put in
look, it's
frozen.
something, you can't make it safe, there's these problems have to be fixed.
So you,
Bless you.
because I buy them. You see here, look. And you get 3 in here, okay? But they have different kinds. So if each one has 3, how many you gonna do? And you get, we're gonna call it 6 slices out of each one. So you get 3 in here, so what's 3 times 6? That one, 18, right? So you get 18 here, so you get 3 of the plain ones, you can get 3 with pepperoni, right? So what's 18 and 18? $36, does that give you enough? Yeah, so you're gonna buy one of those and one of those. So add those 2 prices up. Okay, $24.94. So here, what we can do, we're gonna take all of this out. Just choose, put in frozen. And put in your $24.94. Okay? Now go get your waters and your sodas. Did somebody else call me? Robert, you alright? I got him in H.
So let's review again what you're looking for. You were looking for the part in the story that talks about the problems with flying cars. You put your pencil down, you don't need to do any writing. Here, give me your pencil. Remember, a pencil is only a pencil and I think it has an eraser. Okay? So you're looking at this part of the story that talks about the problems with flying cars. Pencil, put a star next to it, bubble, anything. Alright, so let's switch this. Ms. Nancy, you help
What's up, baby?
Now I'm gonna read the story,
Make sure little
but you're gonna tell me about
What are we using?
if you hear something about the cars aren't safe. There's problems with the cars that can make them unsafe. What does it mean to be unsafe?
The main thing, I would go here,
People can get hurt, right? This is super very no. Excuse me.
the bigger can, and I would just get 2 of those.
Something like soft like that.
Okay, so ready?
Crushed.
We're gonna take it sentence by sentence from this one here. People have been trying to build a flying car for a long time. So far, no one has been able to get a car off the ground safely. So there's that word safely. So, but they're talking about it is difficult to make a flying car that can be used safely. So, so it says it there, so you can put a little star there because the author's telling us right there. Just put a star. Okay. Or a circle's fine. Okay, now, the question here is what evidence?
So you need.
So that's your first piece of evidence. The evidence that this author, it's called a conclusion. He's saying, are you ready?
Just do one of those.
It's coming down to the last couple minutes of the Eagles game. It's a nail biter. It's a nail biter. It's a nail biter. We think they're going to win. Now, the evidence that they could win is because they were leading the whole last game. And it came right down to the end, and they were playing very well. The quarterback, the defense, the offense, everybody was playing
Does he
great.
keep stealing your stuff?
Correct? That's our evidence. But the conclusion is we don't know if they're gonna win or not until the very end. But the evidence was the little pieces of information I just gave you. That's what evidence is. It's like evidence from a murder scene or a crime scene that the police pick up. Then they can take that evidence, they can figure out who committed the crime. So in this case, you're saying that what evidence is the author of the story, this chick named Linda? She wrote this. What are the pieces of evidence, like a police detective, that she's saying that the cars, that the cars are really hard to make safe? All right, so that's the first thing. So we're gonna make a big old pencil. That's the first piece. Good. Put a big star there. All right, so now one problem. Okay, so now this is her saying that it's hard to make them safe.
So just write your total down.
This is her beginning to talk
You might do a
about
better price
the,
tag.
the specific problems that make them unsafe.
What kind of pork did we look at?
Like the police detective was saying, here's my proof.
What were we doing?
One piece of
before?
evidence, two pieces of evidence. You're the killer. It's the same thing this chick
What are
Linda's
you doing
doing.
with pork?
She's gonna lay out pieces of evidence that say these cars are really, really unsafe. They can be really, really
Well, put in
unsafe.
ribs.
So you ready to
See,
find
you
them?
go up there.
No.
Put up
One
ribs.
problem is, now I want you to read this paragraph and tell me what's the first piece of evidence that she says that they
Here's
could be
that
unsafe.
24, 2 to 3 slabs. Okay? How many, what have we done here? 4, 4. Numbers. How many times is that one?
Okay, so you read that paragraph. So what's one problem that the author gives evidence and says, yes, they're gonna be hard? What makes it hard for them to be safe? Something about what?
Not
What's gonna stick out in the lanes?
the way.
The wings. So right now you have a lane of traffic, and then you have another lane of traffic, another lane of traffic. How are you gonna fit all these lanes of traffic?
Alright,
Like the size of runways, right? They're perfect. Okay. So this is your first piece of evidence. So, and the engineers, the guys, the dudes and dudettes that make these cars are trying to fix them. So the first problem is the wings. So there's your first piece of evidence.
See, ribs are,
Okay, so,
ribs are
so if you were going to write it, you could say number
Like,
one,
do something
they
else,
have
write it down.
wings that really stick out.
This one's the 80.
And if somebody clips their wing, you know, can you imagine driving down 13 and there's wing? I mean,
So let's
it's
think.
crazy, right? Okay, so number two. Let's see.
What else can we get?
So now this paragraph talks about how they're trying to solve this problem. So this is not another problem. This is talking about how they're going to solve this problem. So it says two kinds of flying cars are being developed that may solve the problem. One type of car is called the transition. So it's like a Ford or a whatever.
Sandwich.
It has rotating blades. So I know what a blade is. Rotating means one goes this way and one goes this way. Woo! Help the Jesus, you know, see what I'm saying? So I don't know how that's going to help because I'm not an engineer, but that's what it says. It's rotating blades that spin and lift the car. So the car might not need such big wings or something. I guess it's going to like literally, it's not going to take off and you need the wings to go up. It's literally going to go, whoop, meet George Jetson, Jane, his wife, his dog Elroy. You ever see that commercial? You ever saw there used to be a famous cartoon called The Jetsons. This is when you saw The Jetsons. George Jetson would get out of his house was in the future in space, and his car wouldn't take off like an airplane. It would go up in the air,
And hover,
come up, and then it would go.
like a helicopter.
Yeah, like whatever. So it doesn't need a runway. It didn't need wings. I don't know. Somehow it would just kind of come up and then move and float. Don't ask me how. I don't know. Okay. So these blades fold flat against the sides. So I guess the wings come in or something, or they're real close to the sides of the car. I really don't understand this. When the car's on the ground. So when the car is going to be on the ground, they don't need to be all the way out. They can be like right beside it. Like, I don't know, like angel wings that could come in or something. I don't know.
There.
Okay, so we have one piece of evidence. Let's see.
Oh, look what I did.
Another kind of car is called the sky car. It has large propellers. Now to me, that is, propeller is like where the fans are. It's usually like right here on a plane. It's like fans, when they blow wind through it. Wind. So it's saying, let's see, this car, these propeller wings fold up and can be packed in the car's trunk. Far out. So they're saying they can actually be taken apart and put in your car's trunk. And then when you go to ride again, you can be connected to it and then spread out as you need it. I don't know. Weird though, isn't it? Flying cars will not just fly up from the road, they will have to take off from an airport runway. Still, some people are eager to have one of their own. Nobody is sure when flying cars will be available, but one company already has 100 customers waiting for one. So fasten your seatbelt and get ready for takeoff. Someday cars could be on the road and in the air. Okay, pull. So, question is this, are you ready?
But now you gotta get the rolls.
The question is, it's difficult to make a flying car that can be used safely. And then
And the
the
cheese.
question is why? What's the one, they only listed one problem in the whole story. What was the problem that Miss Linda
I
gave?
said close to the.
He means to the time he has to go.
He's
got travel training today.
Other cars can
You're doing
put
travel
them
training
in there. So they came up with a couple solutions. One was to put them in the trunk. The other one was to have a car that goes straight
Okay.
up. So putting them in the trunk works, but you're still on the road and somebody can put them.
You meet your
I
travel
don't know.
trainer up
Maybe
there?
you have to